guys, today our goal is to add and subtract decimals. So if you want to get your journals open to your table of contents and put in add and subtract decimals and then a page number, that would be great. Go ahead and do that, and then you should have a copy of your notes page. Go ahead and fold this in half this way. One thing that's really important with decimals, I think you're going to like this lesson. Adding and subtracting decimals is just like working with money, and it's going to be a lot like working with whole numbers, except that we'll just have that decimal point to have to deal with. One thing that you want to remember, and that will help you to be successful with this, is that we have to remember that when we're adding or subtracting decimals, we must always line up the decimal points. So if you put decimal points right on this line. So it's very important to remember to line up the decimal points. All right, well, let's get started here. So in our notes, we've got 2.7 plus 0.3. And so in order to do that problem, we're going to write down the numbers so that we're lining up the decimal points. So our first number here is 2 7/10. Plus 0 3/10. So notice when I wrote my numbers, I made sure that those decimal points lined up. Now I just add. 7 plus 3 is 10. Carry my 1. I'm going to bring my decimal point down at this point so I don't forget to do that. And then 2 plus 1 is 3. And so our answer to that very first problem is the number 3. And pretty easy, right? So think about this as $2.70. And 30 cents would give you $3. All right, here we go. Let's look at another one. So we've got 5 2/10, and we want to add 2 8/10. Again, remember, we can think of this as $5.20. We could always add a 0 here without changing the value. You can do that with decimal numbers. And $2.80. So think about that. This is really close to $3. This is really close to $5. $5 and $3 should give us something close to $8 here. All right, let's check it out. 8 plus 2 is 10. Carry my 1, bring down that decimal point. 5 plus 2 is 7, and 1 more is 8. Oh, we were right on, weren't we? All right, let's look at the next one. In fact, with the next one, there's something kind of interesting. Let's see what happens here. So we've got 14 3/10. And we're going to add 9 12/100. Now you might have been tempted to line up the digits because you've got two 3-digit numbers here. And so it's very tempting to put that 9 underneath the 1. But remember, these decimal points have to line up. We've got an empty space over here, so we're just going to fill that in with a 0. Because remember, we can always add zeros to the end of decimal numbers without changing their value. All right, now we're adding. So we've got 0 plus 2 gives us 2. 3 plus 1 is 4, bringing down that decimal point. 4 plus 9 gives me 13. Carry my 1, and I've got 23 42/100. All right, now we're going to switch over to subtraction. I think one of the hardest things about these is just to be able to remember if you're adding or subtracting. So I've got 7 52/100, and I'm going to subtract 2 9/10. Again, I've got a spot that has no matching number, so I'm going to add a 0 there and get ready to do my math. 2 minus 0 is 2. Can't take 9 away from 5, so we're going to regroup by borrowing from our 7 there, making that 15. And 9 from 15 is 4. Bring down my decimal point, and 2 from 6 gives me 4. 4 42/100. Alrighty, would you like to go ahead and stop your video now and give this one a try? See how you do on that one. And then turn the video back on and we'll check it out. So our problem is 5 35/100, and we're going to subtract 2 37/100. So this is like $5.35 minus $2.37. Want to get something around 3, I'm thinking. Okay, so we can't take 7 away from 5. So we'll regroup, make this a 2, make this a 15, and 7 from 15 is 8. Can't take 3 away from 2. Regroup. Make this a 4, this a 12, and 3 from 12 gives us 9. Bring down that decimal point, and 2 from 4 is 2. So we're real close to $3 there, $2.98 if we were thinking money. Hope you got that one right. Let's look at this next one. This next one's a little bit interesting. It has a decimal number and a whole number. So how do we line up the decimal points? Well, remember, with every whole number, there's always an invisible decimal point waiting right there for us. And so this is 8 and 9/10, and we're still subtracting, minus 4 and 0/10. And so when we subtract, we've got 9 minus 0 is 9. Bring down my decimal point, and 8 minus 4 is 4. So that's 4 and 9/10. Hope you did all right on that one. We've got 3 more problems here, and then we'll be done. Maybe you want to stop the video right now and go ahead and try that one. So here's our first one, 3 and 6/10. And we're going to add 8 and 1/10. So 6 plus 1 is 7. Bring our decimal point down. 8 and 3 is 11. So we've got to kind of move over a digit there. I think the hardest thing about this one was remembering that it was adding and not subtracting. All right, last one, 2 more here. So we've got 15 and 7/10, and we're going to subtract 2 and 6/10. 7 minus 6 is 1. Bring down our decimal point. 5 minus 2 is 3. And then bring down our 1 and get 13 and 1/10. All right, last one. See if you can stop the video and do that one on your own then. Okay guys, here we have 3 and 85/100ths, and we're going to subtract 1 and 752/1000ths. So we're missing a digit here. We'll just go ahead and add a 0 in. And we've got 2 from 0. Can't do that, so we'll regroup. 2 from 10 is 8. Can't take 5 from 4, so we'll regroup. 5 from 14 is 9. 7 from 7 is 0. Bring down our decimal point, and 3 minus 1 is 2. All right, that's the end of our lesson. Hope that that worked out really well for you, and we'll do some activities with this when I see you in class.